Hi everyone, this is the ACT Math Easy Tutorial number 1. This tutorial will be around 10 minutes long and will contain questions from 1 to 10 in the ACT test. If you're confident with questions from 1 to 10, you can simply skip to the next tutorial, which is ACT Math Easy Tutorial number 2. If you just want to hear it or need help solving the first 10 questions, I encourage you to stay with me for the next 10 minutes. Okay, let's dive into our first question. Question number 1. The perimeter of a square is 40 inches. What is the area of the square in square inches? Whenever the question asks for a perimeter, area, or volume, I strongly encourage you to draw the diagram. So here we have a square, and I'm going to give sides a variable called x. The perimeter of a square is the sum of all sides, which is x plus x plus x plus x. We can rewrite this as 4x. Now the question tells us that the perimeter, or 4x, is equal to 40. To find x, we can divide both sides by 4. Therefore, x is 10. Now, this is not our answer. The question asks us to find the area of the square in square inches. To find the area is the side multiplied by the other side, or x squared. We know that x is 10, so we can bring 10 here and substitute in place of x, which will give us 100. That should be our final answer, and our answer choice is D. Question number 2. If 5x plus 4 equals 10 plus 3x, then x equals. If we look at the equation given to us, we see that there are variables on both sides of the equation. For example, we have 5x here on the left side equation, and we have 3x on the right side equation. So what we have to do is move all the variables to one side of the equation and move all the constants to the other side of the equation. To do that, I'm simply going to rewrite the equation a little bigger. 5x plus 4 equals 10 plus 3x. Now what I want to do is move this 3x to the left side of the equation. But be careful when you move the equation, because this 3x is actually a positive or plus 3x. And when it moves to the other side, the positive sign, or the plus sign, will become a negative sign. So if you rewrite the equation, it's going to look like 5x plus 4 minus 3x is going to equal 10. We're not done yet. We have to move the constant, which is 4, to the right side of the equation. Just like before, 4 is a positive or plus 4, so when it moves to the right side of the equation, it becomes a negative. So if you rewrite the equation, it's going to look 5x minus 3x is 10 minus 4. Simple math. This is going to be 2x equals 10 minus 4 equals 6. Let's divide both sides by 2 to isolate the variable x. These cancel out. This is going to equal 3. So x is 3. That is our final answer. And the answer choice is D. Question number 3. In cubic meters, what's the volume of a large cube whose edges each measure 4 meters in length? Like I said earlier in this tutorial, Whenever the question asks for a perimeter, an area, or a volume, we should always draw the diagram first. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a cube. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, ACT is a timed test. So your diagram should not take you more than 10 seconds. Here we have a cube. It's not perfect, but it's okay. And we're going to label all the sides or edges 4 inches. So width is 4, the length is 4, and the height is 4. Now the equation for volume is length, which is represented by L, times width, represented by W, times height, represented by H. Now in a cube, length, width, and height are all same. They're all 4 in this case. So what we're going to write is, we're just going to replace the width and the height with length, because they're all the same numbers. So it's length times length times length, which is length cubed. Now we know what a length is. Now we know what the length is. It's 4. So we're going to replace L with 4. So 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 cubed. Now if we solve this, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64, and 4 cubed is also 64, and that is simply our answer. So our answer is choice E. Question number 4. A function h is defined by h x comma y equals x minus x times y minus y. What is the value of h 5 comma 3? This question is nothing but plugging in values. So from the question, we know that 5 is in the place of x, so x is going to be 5. And 3 is in the place of y, so y is going to be 3. And really all we have to do is use that equation and this value and plug in numbers. So I'm going to rewrite the equation first. So x minus x times y minus y. And now I'm going to plug in numbers. So 5 minus x is 5. So 5 times y, which is 3, minus 3. Now comes a little more trickier part, which is which is order of operations. And what we do here first is the multiplication inside the parentheses. So 5 times 3 is 15. So I'm going to rewrite the equation once more. 5 minus, parentheses, 15 minus 3. Next thing we do is the equation inside the parentheses. Which is 15 minus 3. That's going to equal 12. So let's rewrite the equation. 5 minus 12. That's nothing but negative 7. And that will be our final answer. And your choice is A. Question number 5. Given that H equals A, B, C, D, which of the following is an expression of C in terms of H, A, B, and D? What the question is asking is an expression of C in terms of H, A, B, and D. That's simply nothing but what goes in here, inside the square box. So what is C in terms of all the other variables? Let's look at the given equation. So H equals A times B times C times D. What we want is this variable C to be isolated. And in order to do that, we need to move variable A, B, and D to the left side of the equation along with H. And what we can do, and what we will do is, because they are all multiplication, we have to divide them. Now you can choose to divide A and then B and then D. What I'm going to do is divide both sides, of course, by A, B, D. Now this should cancel my A's, cancel my B's, cancel my D's, and leave me with C. So the final answer will be H over A, B, D will equal C, and that is what we want. So this is our final answer. The answer is C.